mistake of thinking it's the whole picture. Because that's when we get trapped up in what is really just partiality and fragmentation of these approaches to leadership. So continue using the tools that you're using. We'll give you some new ones based explicitly on integral, but then use AQUIL, use the integral maps, just make sense of how you put your tools and your actions together in your practice, your approach to whatever profession you have. Oh, thank you. Yeah, stop touching that. Integral leaders employ skillful means and what? Still? Sorry, I didn't sleep much last night. I'm a little out of it. Integral skillful means. Let me just find that real quick. It looks like this. We've been working at it all morning yesterday. It's when one human encounters another human, and both. Well, let's look at you. You as the leader have and can hold and work to hold fully in your awareness the entire AQUIL dimensions of yourself and the AQUIL dimensions of the other person. So what does that mean, the AQUIL dimensions? It means more than just watching your perspectives. It means what field are you in? What field are you speaking to? It means what quadrant are you most talking about right now or looking through? It means what type are you, in relation to your partner, masculine or feminine? It means keeping all that in awareness and how it changes moment to moment. That, and I could go on and on and on and on about that particular thing. It's no small thing. This is part of the development path. But this is where we actually come back to the simple technology of love. This is, it's kind of stupidly expressed in a little equation with letters and the X, but when two humans encounter each other and can do that, it's what Martin Buber was talking about. The hyphen turns into God, and that's when love, that you're always already connected to, but that's when it manifests in service and in connection with another person. And it can be more than one person, but we're talking about one person. And that is the embodiment then of love, the essence of the simple technology of love from yesterday.
What is a hyphen? What's the sign?
Oh, it's the little dash?
A dash,
Yeah.
Start.
So if you were going to, what's some word that would be hyphenated? I don't know any.
Email.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the separate the two words. So it's basically just saying I hyphen that would mean you and I are in relation if we wrote it
That's what I
down.
thought, but I wasn't sure.
Thanks for asking for sure. It's kind of important. Once we were talking about this, he says hyphen. Sean,
mentioning God, and is it, I know cosmos is the top level, but is it to be assumed, as an observer right now, I'm assuming that this is all moving towards needing to define ultimate success in the connection to God. Is that correct?
ultimate success is what you said?
Enlightenment is another word you use.
Enlightenment, yes, it would be a oneness with the non-dual state in the state spectrum. And, some traditions call it God, others call it obviously different things. So I'm not trying to say that integral leaders have to be enlightened. I'm saying they're aware of, hey, that's a path of development I can be on. That the more I'm on that path, the more I see, can love and grow. But the word present too.
God can be replaced for any
No.
sense of problem. Sorry.
Of course. I said no.
With any sense of providence or true feeling of the universe.
Anyone you know.
Because I'm just looking at the communication of this.
This caveat to everything I teach. None of this goes anywhere near a corporate environment. Period. Okay, good. This is like the secret teaching stuff, so I use that language pretty fluidly and loosely. And yeah, totally changeable. Any version of the ultimate or the real. Yeah. And choose your ultimate or real, or choose your God wisely if you do attempt to talk to people who aren't like you about this stuff. It's a little tales from the trenches. Integral leadership is not an option. This goes back to, hey, in Hebrew, love is the same word as option. kind of like bringing up the energy of the Bodhisattvic vow in Buddhism. I vow to reach enlightenment myself so that I can help others do the same. Jumping down a notch, this is in the awareness realm. Hey, back to the quadrants. Integral leaders recognize the fundamental dimensions of every occasion. Okay, we've seen that, been there. Hey, there they are again, interior, exterior. One more distinction I want to offer is that with the quadrants, we can look at our quadrants, touch in with our dimensions, like we did yesterday in that little meditation. Those are the quadrants. We can look through them, kind of like as lenses or glasses. We can look through them and analyze the situation, which we'll do in a moment with this tool. When we do that, it's called a quadrivia. Just a little vocabulary thing I'm offering. Quadrivia. Yeah, it's a Latin word that generally referred to the 4 courses that they used to teach in medieval universities, and someone in the integral community, I don't know if it was Ken or someone else, just stole it. Because quad goes good with quadrants. But it means looking through. Integral leaders cultivate depth and complexity. This is back to that vertical spectrum piece. We saw this with the psychograph. We got altitudes, and this is just the review, showing you how it comes into to inform leadership. And integral leaders don't totalitize their partners. There's a lot to say on this. I'm not going to get into it all, but just briefly, what does this mean? Where's this landed for you? Totalitize your partners? Be humble? Knock out your head, is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's good. This is more speaking in the vertical realm. The concept of hold on, that every entity, including ourselves, is a whole. It's also a part, right? So let's use a simple example like a molecule. So a molecule, it's a whole. It's also a part of something larger, which would be a cell. So it's a whole on or whole part simultaneously. On Jesse's field diagram, emphasizes the whole was on the left, right? Emphasizes the part was on the right. Okay. When you don't balance that, you're totalitizing your partners typically. Integral leaders are super prone to this. It's basically not honoring the fundamental nature of the cosmos. So it's basic. This shows up in, I think I've identified like 12 different ways this shows up specifically, but it all kind of comes back to this root problem, which in integral awareness can clear up a little bit. So think of it like a simple example, a work group, and the CEO comes in and he's like, shit, I'm Mr. CEO. We're having this meeting, and next thing you know, it's off topic, off the agenda, because there's this like crazy outpouring of like, and this is a true story, and there's this crazy outpouring of like, oh my God, the company's gonna close, and people are getting laid off, and no one's like honoring them, and they're just disappearing, and you're gonna have this meeting, and then the CEO just walks out because it wasn't the meeting he wanted to have. True story from an integral organization near you. In that moment, that person was not recognizing that they were also a part of that social group, that work group right there. They were a part of it. They said, you know what, I'm not a part. I don't need to be a part of this. I'm going to be a whole. I'm going to do whatever the F I want. And he walks out. Simple example of when you totalitize your partners, you get into trouble. All right, here we go, baby. Finally, all those charisma principles, all these vision principles, all these awareness principles finally show up somehow at the end of this session. It's my last presentation, I promise. How to land it in action. This is a tool that is explicitly based on Aqua.